Right, what we're going to look at in this video is updating the daybooks. It's possible in any of the assessments that you do that you're going to have an incomplete daybook, and what you have to do is obviously complete it. In the example we've got here is an analysed daybook where you've got sales type 1 and sales type 2. So we've got a bit of extra added to our normal daybook, which would normally have just the total, the VAT and the net column. So it takes a bit more thinking about on our part, but it's fairly straightforward to do. So if we look at the first one here that we have, so I'm just going to get my pen ready. So I'm going to draw in blue on this. So we look at the sales type 1 and type 2, and we add both them together, which will give us our total net figure here, which in this case is £750. So all I have to do is write 750 into the column, the net column. So looking at it then, we're given the total here of 900 and we're total 750 here. So the difference between those two is £150. And that goes in there. One way to check that is if you divide the 900 by 6 on your calculator. Okay, we'll just check that. 900 divided by 6 gives us 150. So that is correct. So always make sure, check your figures once you put them in. So the next one we've got here is our sales. We've only got sales type 2 in the column there. That would be the net figure. So if I work out what would be our VAT on 1,220 times 20% gives me 244. So I know there's going to be nothing in the sales type 1 figure. The net figure is still going to be the 1220, and my total figure is going to be the obviously 1,220 plus the 244, which gives me 1,464. So I put that 1,464 into the total column there. So again, we look down at the next row, parent trading, and we can see the total net figure is the same as the sales type 1. So there cannot be anything in the sales type 2. So all we have to do is work out what the VAT is on the 2,640, which works out at £528. So that goes into the VAT column. And then we just add the two together. And in this case it comes to 3,168. So 3,168 goes into the total column. And I suggest you always work that back. Divide the 3,168 by 6 and it should give you the 528, which is the VAT, so you know your calculation is correct. Next one we're looking at is Harbour Lights. So Harbour Lights have sales type 1 and type 2, so we add these two together to give us our total net, which is 1,920. We work out what the VAT is on 1,920 and it comes to 384. Oops, 384. And then if we add those two together to make sure that it comes back to our 2,304, and we know we've got it right. Then the final thing we have to do is total the columns. Never forget to do that. So we total the total column, which comes to 7,836. 836. We then total our VAT column, which comes to 1,306. Total our net column, 6530, £6,530. We total our sales type 1, which comes to 3,860. And we total our sales type 2, which comes to £2,670. And what I suggest you do is check your figures once you've done this. So add up the sales type 1 and sales type 2 totals and make sure that they come to the 6,530. Add to that the VAT, and obviously make sure that then comes to the 7,836, so we know we got it correct. Then we move on to the sales returns daybook. So in this case we're told our sales type 2 is £65 in our sales returns, okay, and the VAT is £13. So if we work out what the VAT is on £65, it comes to £13. So we know that the net figure here is going to be 65, and there is no sales type 1. And we just add the 65 and the 13 together to give us £78. Again, the net one, we've got sales type 1 is 135 and the total net is 135, so there cannot be anything in sales type 2. All we need to do now is work out the VAT on £135, which comes to £27. Add the two together, which gives us £162. And then the final thing we have to do again is just total our columns. So our total here comes to 240. Our VAT column comes to £40. And our net figure comes to 200. As we'd expect, the 240 minus the VAT is 200. 135 for sales type 1 and 65 for sales type 2. And again, cross-cast them. Okay, add them up crossways to make sure our 65 plus 135 comes to 200, and we know that 200 plus 40 comes to 240. So we know our sales returns daybook has been completed correctly. Okay, and that is it as far as updating the daybooks is concerned.